Hey everyone, Raptorspank here, and today we've got something a bit different, continuing my flesh and blood content, but doing something a little bit different from any of the other videos that I'm working on, either that have come out or haven't come out. But what we're doing today, as you can probably tell by the title of the video, is we are unboxing Crucible of War Unlimited. So, normally speaking, you're not supposed to open boxes to break. I know it's a pretty big thing going on YouTube and other social media right now. People have been loving watching box breaks, and to be honest, I really enjoy opening packs and booster boxes. It's just something I really do enjoy doing. It's very fun, but what most people will tell you is that if you are looking to get cards, you just buy the singles. If you are getting a box, then you should be doing some sort of limited with it, whether that's draft, sealed, whatever. So typically speaking, when I buy a box, I do in fact do some sort of limited, either draft, or I used to do draft. Now I'm kind of doing sealed a little bit more because it's even easier to do. You just open the box, take 6 packs, and boom, 1 player set. If you only have 2 players, easy enough. You can do it twice. If you got 4 players, you can do 4 players sealed out of a single box. So that's what I've been doing the most of. But couple of caveats on Crucible of War. I wanted to open a box because there's a ton of cards we're looking for in the box, so for a variety of different classes. So there's a good chance, well, it's basically guaranteed that I'm going to find something I'm looking for. Whether it's enough money to make up the value of the box, probably not, but at least I'll probably find something that I'm actually going to use. And then second, you really can't do sealed with Crucible of War. This was meant as like a supplement set for Flesh and Blood, so it really just basically expands on the pre-existing classes. So there's a couple of things that create problems for a sealed environment. First off, there is in fact all 8 original classes represented in this set, as well as a couple of heroes for some other classes that don't have any support yet. I suppose you can argue Shiana does have support in the fact that everyone's specialization cards is support for her, but essentially, it does have the 8 original classes, so your chances of getting a good and playable deck in sealed out of this box are very low, because you're going to be getting cards for all 8 classes, so each one individually is going to be very weak. And then second off, there's only 10 cards in each pack as opposed to the usual 15, so you have even less cards on top of that. So can't really do sealed, or it'd be very difficult to get a quality sealed game out of this box. So instead, decided, hey, why not? We're just going to open a box, open a bunch of packs, see what we can get. Now, I'll probably try to do the value of the rares as we go through them to see what kind of value we get on the box based on some of the market prices on TCG Player or something like that. I'll figure that out and probably include that as well. But what you'll be seeing right here is kind of like a scoreboard of cards that I personally am looking for. Obviously, would be happy with any legendaries, and honestly, most Majestics would be good too, but we have some specific ones we're looking for. So I'm going to do points based on how many I get. This includes commons, rares, Majestics, legendaries. There's cards we're looking for and everything. Again, any legendary would be awesome. Fabled would be amazing as well. But basically, this is just kind of to add another fun element to it of what I'm looking for and how this box weighs up to what I want out of it. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into opening this box. So, I've kind of reached this point now. I recently did a couple of different sealed games, particularly Welcome to Wrath, kind of opened my eyes on some classes that I had not been paying much attention to. I didn't think I was very interested in Warrior to begin with. I don't know what it is exactly about it. It's just kind of my thoughts and knowledge of the class. Just, it wasn't really something I was that interested in. And then, because of Welcome to Wrath sealed, I got a chance to look at Dorinthia cards a little bit more and see her in action a bit. And I realized that her playstyle is actually very, very fun. So Warrior is something that we're kind of looking at now as a class I'm actually interested in. And there's a number of really great Warrior cards in this box, so, or well, in this set, so that's one of the big things we're looking for. And then just historically, some of my favorite classes that I already knew about. I really like the Mechanologist. I love the aspect of just like playing a bunch of attacks in one turn, thanks to boost. So that's a class I've been very interested in for quite some time. And then also, the Wizard is the first deck I actually built. when I got first into this, so before I even bought a booster box, I bought the pre-con decks, played them against my friend, really liked it. I looked at fabtcg, their website, and saw some of the deck lists, and I saw that the Wizard was one of the best performing decks. I looked at the class and how it worked, and I was like, you know, this is actually really interesting. So Wizard was one of the classes I was most interested in too, and so I've been pretty excitedly waiting for this set too, because there's a number of really good Wizard cards in here that I've kind of been waiting to get, like Gaze the Ages, because that was very expensive. I haven't looked at the prices recently, but it was very expensive before Unlimited came out, so I didn't want to buy into that yet. So I bought into a deck with like 90% of the top tier Blitz deck version of it, but was waiting on Crucible of War to come out so I could get the rest of it. So here we are now, and we're gonna get to see if we can find some of those cards. So let's get into the first pack. Now, another thing I would love to get, again, any legendary would be amazing, but I do really want Shiana, because I'm probably going to buy her if I can find a good enough deal on her, because she is one of the heroes I'm most excited for like Ultimate Pit Fighter. I wasn't entirely excited about Ultimate Pit Fighter. I like Commander, but Ultimate Pit Fighter, I wasn't sure it was going to translate as well, because like one of my favorite decks, or actually my favorite deck in Commander, is Zur, who has this kind of alternate win condition, and Flesh and Blood doesn't really have that, which I thought would kind of take away from Ultimate Pit Fighter in multiplayer formats. But then the very first time I did Sealed, I did a Monarch box, and we did 4-player Ultimate Pit Fighter Sealed, and it was just so much fun, especially with some of the cooler stuff like Blinding Beam that you could use to kind of politics, that I'm pretty excited about the format now. So I would love to build a Shiana deck. Kavdane would be pretty sweet too, although I did already open one separate pack that I bought from my local game store and got Kavdane in it, so I do already have them. So yeah, let's just get straight into this. And right off the bat, looking at it, let me get my list a little bit accessible here, but get a little bit excited. Sleep Dart, I'm not that interested in, so I'm just going to have a pile of not interested like commons over here. But then we do have Meet and Greet, which is something I am interested in, because this is actually a really good Runeblade card. Now, unfortunately, I did already buy some copies of Meet and Greet before this, but this is a very good Runeblade card, and I'm definitely going to be able to get use out of it. So that's one of our good commons. We'll have our good commons here, and our okay commons are like ones I'm not particularly looking for there. For Boating Bolt, this is also one we were looking for, so that's really, really sweet for Wizard. It does a lot of great stuff because it deals damage, but it also ops, which is something that the deck really, really wants to do. So get through there. Blessing of Serenity, Riled Up, Torrent of Tempo, lots of Ninja and Guardian stuff, and our foil here that we've got is Rockslide Trap for Ranger. Will be interesting to see if this gets a little bit better with Tales of Arya, since we'll be getting another Ranger hero. So these kind of cards might be really, really good. And I mean, first pack, and we've got a foil rare, so that's pretty sweet. We'll put this into. I'm trying to think how I want to do these piles. So we'll do like rares over here, or we'll do foils. Actually, I'm not going to worry about that yet. I'm just going to put like rares over there. We do have Barraging Bighorn too, which that's a pretty good one if I remember correctly. And then our other one is Springboard Somersault for the Ninja. So not a ton of stuff that we're looking for, but foil rare is a good way to start. And we did get the Foreboding Boat and Meet and Greet. So those are two things off of our scoreboard. I'll admit I've not been terribly enthusiastic about playing Brute or Ninja. There's probably a little bit of hipster in me that I don't want to play Ninja because I know they've been stomping, particularly Blitz. But Brute is something I was actually pretty excited to play, and then having had an opportunity now to play a decent bit of Levia and also play a little bit of Rhinar, it's just the class hasn't been clicking for me quite as much. But I do like that there's so many different classes, so everyone has all these different classes that they enjoy. And let's see, starting off the next pack, we have a common Mechanologist card that is off my list. This is something we were looking for. So that card is pretty sweet. It gives your next attack boosted damage if it hits, and it has boost itself, so it's really, really good. It is a bit expensive, but not too bad. Rousing Aether for the wizard, not really one I particularly have my eye on because I haven't seen people really playing with that one that much. Overblast I'm actually pretty excited for because I think this is actually a decent common for Channel Fireball's Commoner Blitz format that they mentioned. So I've got my eye on these, and that's why it is one of the cards on the scoreboard. Same with Hit and Run is actually just like a really playable card, so that's a sweet one to get for Warrior there. It's really, really strong. Got a Brute card, a Ninja card, and then we have a Guardian and Soulbead Strike. This one's foil. That's pretty sweet. Not bad. And then Flood of Force. Oh, well, that's a Ninja Majestic, which is pretty sweet. Oh, and we got a Kaio, so that's pretty sweet, too, to get the alternate hero. I've seen some people brewing around Kaio, and she does look actually kind of neat, so not consistent, but definitely neat. And, yeah, first Majestic of the box is this sweet Flood of Force. So we'll start a Majestic pile over there, and this, oh, wait, that goes into our rare pile. Basically, off our scoreboard, every single hero is a hit. As far as I'm concerned, I like having all of these different options, so any new heroes is something I'm excited to get copies of. So not a bad hit there with Kaio. I probably should use the tear tab on these packs. It's actually designed for. Where is it even? Oh yeah, it's like right here. I hate opening it by the corner there. Yeah, no. We're gonna keep doing our own thing here. I am not the most professional at pack opening, but we're doing our best to get through them with minimal damage. All right. What are we starting off with? Snapback, sweet. This is actually a really, really good wizard common, because it deals damage, but then if you've played another wizard non-attack action, you can play this as instant. So part of the problem with ninja or with wizard is you're trying to do multiple attacks a turn or multiple actions a turn, and this gives itself instant. So you don't even need to find one of your ways to make one of your actions instant. So that's why that card is actually pretty strong. Consuming Volition. Teklovesen Workshop is one that's actually kind of interesting, but not really on our list, I don't think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, no. It's an interesting card, but it's kind of harder to pull off. Probably better in like a Data Doll deck, but it basically plays around items. That's the reason there. We got Riled Up, Oath for Blood, Salt the Wound, Predatory Salt, and our foil is an Out for Blood, which Out for Blood is actually kind of sweet. It is a warrior one, so it's not a terrible hit, especially if we try to build like warrior commoner blitz, which we might. So we got that, and then we have a rare warrior action. So Dauntless, neat little thing, but not on our list. Maybe it's close. It's close. It's like actually kind of good, but not really. It's hard to say if it's actually worth running or not. So right now it's not on our list, but that is High Speed Impact is one of the cards we're looking for, because this is a very, very strong card, because it is a boost attack that gives other attacks dominate, which is great if you combine it with like the one that pumps your next attack if it hits. So you can always do this to give that dominate, and then that is going to hit probably because it has dominate, which is going to pump your next one. So it's part of some really cool combo hits you can do. So nice little hit there. That pack was pretty solid for our scoreboard anyways. And again, Dauntless is not a horrible card for us to pull either. Because there's a good chance it's actually playable. It's a warrior rare, and like I said, I am looking into getting into warrior as well. Ooh, copper token, that's pretty sweet actually. That's not on our list, but it's something I did want to get some of, because I'm probably going to be building, like I said, I'll probably build a Cavdane UPF deck, so probably going to need these tokens at some point. Brutal Assault, Pathing Helix. Ooh, another meet and greet. Nice. Oh, and a Dorinthia card. Not bad, not bad. So these are all the Crucible of War ones are backed, because essentially the reason they put them in when these were normally tokens is that this way you can get foil copies of these fairly easily through the set. So pretty sweet. You know, I'll put that in this pile even though it doesn't actually count as a hit, but it is a neat little card there that kind of goes for what we're looking for. Ooh, a foil Ira. Oh, that's sweet. I have one Ira welcome deck, but she is the best hero in Blitz right now. There we go. Now we're getting the foil showing off on camera there. But yeah, foil Ira. That is so cool. That's awesome. I'm gonna put that in this pile, even though it's not necessarily hit. But Mauvrian Skies, very much a hit. This is something we were very much looking for, because this is a really, really good Runeblade action. And I started building a Viserai deck, much like my my Kano deck, where essentially I was building 80 to 90% of the competitive deck, just missing the huge chase cards. But with Runeblade, it was a lot harder, because like Mauvrian Skies were like $12 a copy because they hadn't come out yet. Like the blue copy I think was like $2, but like yellow or red were up there like $8 to $12. So I just didn't end up buying them because I was like, well, the unlimited printing hasn't come out yet. So great hit, definitely something we were looking for. Promise of Plenty is interesting, and so it is actually on the scoreboard, which is going to seem a little bit weird from like the generic action standpoint, but essentially what it does is if it hits a hero who doesn't have a card in their arsenal, then put the top card of their deck into their arsenal face down, and if it's played from arsenal, it gains go again. But basically, anyone who doesn't have anything in their arsenal gets to put something into put the top card of their deck into the arsenal when this hits. So the reason why this is on the list of cards that I was looking for is that it's a really good Ultimate Pit Fighter one, because it's got great sort of politics, and you can swing at someone and be like, hey, take this hit, because then you're going to get a card in your arsenal as well. Also, it's a generic, so it's great for things like the Cavdane deck that I wanted to build, because, you know, essentially it's a generic that would go great in there. And again, it has that aspect of politics, which is really nice. And it's a zero-cost attack. If you play it from your arsenal, it has go again too. It's got all sorts of great stuff going for it. So it's actually a generic I was interested in. Probably not for like competitive, but really cool for like Ultimate Pit Fighter. And I think Ultimate Pit Fighter needed a lot more cards like Promise of Plenty and things like Blinding Beam, stuff like that really lets you do that game of politics. So that's the stuff that makes multiplayer modes really, really fun. So awesome finds so far. That was a really cool pack, because we got that foil Ira, and both rares are really, really good. Another meet and greet, so that's really sweet. Another Foreboding Bolt. This one's red too, so this one deals actually a decent bit of damage, so that's sweet. Another Overblast and Combustible Courier. These are all hits. That was some great commons for us. Predatory Assault, Torrent of Tempo, Swing First, Think Later, nice. Push Forward, nice. I thought about putting this one on the list. It's not on the list right now, but it's actually a decent warrior action as well. So not bad, not on our list currently, but ooh, there we go. That's another Majestic from the box, and this one is really, really good for Mechanologists. A number of people have been running this, because essentially when you boost, whenever you boost this turn, you can draw a card and put a card from your hand on the top of your deck. Well, essentially, so what it lets you do is, if you want, you can draw and then put one of your cards from your hand on top, which kind of lets you potentially draw into better cards if you've got bad cards in your hand. And then if you boost, you're going to lose the cards off the top of your deck, so that when you boost again, you're going to get to draw another card. So essentially, it lets you kind of get rid of the bad cards and keep drawing through your deck anyways. And again, this is an action with Go Again. It doesn't destroy it, or well, it does destroy it, but essentially what it does is this effect lasts through the turn. So if you keep boosting, you can keep drawing cards. So you can do some really nuts things with this. So awesome thing. This has got to be like one of the most troll rares in the set. Harmonized Kodachi. I have so many tokens of Kodachi. It's like if you open Welcome to Wrath, like, every other token's going to have a Kodachi on one face of it, at least. But for some reason, they made it a rare in this set. Cool if you get a foil, but not a great rare to pull in this situation. That's as big of a miss as we can have. But again, we had the Visiertronic Model Eye, so that's just more than happy with that pack. We got a bunch of commons we wanted, and we got a really, really sweet Majestic that we were looking for. So that's really awesome. Let's see if we can do even better. Another Sleep Dart. Ooh, another Snapback. That's another card we were looking for. Sweet. All right. Sutcliffe's Research Notes is actually pretty neat. I'm interested to try and build around this. I think once you start looking at Commoner Blitz, this starts having potential for Runeblade, but not something on our list currently. But a neat little card. Pathing Helix. Ooh, Katsu. That's sweet. Then we have another Chokeslam, Flying Kick, and our foil is Overblast. So it's a foil and it's one of our hits. That's one of the cards we were looking for. Really, really neat foil, actually. Pretty sweet. I don't think this is probably good in competitive, but I am actually looking to build a Commoner Blitz deck, and I really, really want to build Dash because she's my favorite hero, and I think Overblast is actually decent into that kind of deck because it is a common, so it's sort of like a payoff you can have. But the big problem with this deck is that it does gain plus X, where X is the number of times you boosted, but it doesn't have boost itself, which can be kind of problematic, especially in more competitive. Ooh, a Mauvrion Skies and a Cindering Foresight. Maybe I should have put Cindering Foresight on my list. The problem is I already bought these for Cano. That's why they're not on my list of cards I'm looking for, but it's a really, really good wizard card. And then Red Mauvrion Sky is insane. This is awesome. I'm so glad. This is what we were looking for, is Mauvrion Skies, and we've already gotten 2 of them, and one of them's red, so that's really, really sweet. On to the next. Not even halfway through yet. I'm a little bit slow opening these up, but this is my first time opening Crucible of War, so pardon me kind of over talking about every card and being super excited, but this is my first time really opening a full box. So Ranger, another Consuming Volition. Ooh, a Viserai, nice. I would love to get a foil Viserai in the box. That would be sweet. Viserai is definitely a neat character. I know I said Cano, Dash, and Dorinthia are up there right now, my favorite heroes, but Viserai is one I really, really like. I know Chain is kind of the new Runeblade that's really taking over, and Chain is really, really fun, but I love the whole Rune Chant aspect and all that, and I love Viserai's story and all that, so I would love to get a foil Viserai. I'm definitely going to keep building him. Soulbeat Strike, Out for Blood, Predatory Assault, Merging Dominance, and our foil is Coaxa Commission. That's a foil Majestic. Nice. I can't remember if this was on our list. I don't think it was, but it's a foil foil Majestic, so that is really, really sweet. Definitely cool. I believe this one plays around. Oh yeah, it gives you a number of things. If it hits, it can give you a Quicken token, or everyone draws a card. Coaxa Commission. That's a foil Majestic. Nice. I can't remember if this was on our list. I don't think it was, but it's a foil foil Majestic, so that is really, really sweet. Definitely cool. I believe this one plays around. It doesn't do as much as Promise of Plenty does. Reinforce the Line, another generic, and Crane Dance, another generic or rare ninja combo card combo finisher, I should say. All right, well, we've pulled 3 Majestics, one of which is foil. Not bad, and one of them was a Majestic we were looking for. So we're doing pretty good with this box so far. I feel like, anyways. We'll see how the scoring system works and if it's something worth doing, but it's something I wanted to do for opening this box. Kind of have like a separate thing other than just value of the box that just kind of tracks like what I was looking for, so you can kind of look back on it and be like, well, how much did the box give me what I was hoping to get out of it? But another Brute one, another Rousing, Combustible Courier. This is one of the commons we were looking for, and that's the red version, so that's a really, really sweet. Blessing of Serenity, Guardian Instant, Hit and Run, that's another one we were looking for. Push It Forward, wasn't exactly looking for it, but ooh, there we go, foil weapon. That's really sweet, Zephyr Needle foil. And I think there's 2 artworks for this. There's like both facing both directions, but this is one of the new ninja weapons, and it's a one-handed weapon, so you can have 2 of them. That's kind of made for the new Benji hero, so yeah, really, really cool, and that is a foil rare, technically speaking, so sweet, really, really cool. Rattle Bones. I've seen this a little bit, but not a ton of people are running it, unfortunately. So not a great find, but neat little card. And Centauri Saber, yes, this is something I was hoping to find. I don't think I put it on my list, but it is a weapon we were looking for because it's another warrior one-handed weapon, and it does some pretty sweet stuff on its own. So it wasn't on my list of cards I was looking for because the warrior decks that I want to build around, I think I would prefer Hatchet, a Body and Mind for Bolton than Centauri Saber, and so then otherwise Dorinthia is going to be playing Dawnblade. Like, Dawnblade is just so much better for Dorinthia, so that's the reason it wasn't on the list, is that we weren't really looking for warrior weapons. The only weapon we were really interested in finding is Talishar, because I do want to build Kavdane and Shiana, and both of them don't have class weapons, so they need a generic weapon, and the only generic weapon in existence is Talishar, so that's the big one we're looking for. Some more Runeblade, Mechanologist, Snapbacks, that's one of the cards we were looking for. Consuming Volition, Torrent of Tempo, Out for Blood, Crush the Weak, Foil Riled Up, not a hit, but a neat little card. Rockslide Trap for Rangers, that's our first rare, and our second is Lunging Press for just generic attack. Now, I actually do really like this. I didn't put it on my list, but I like that we're getting a generic attack reaction that pumps an attack action card by +1, so it can't pump weapons, but essentially it means Warrior's not the only one that can surprise you and pump the power after blocks are declared. So that is a neat generic rare that I'm kind of interested in, but they're not very strong, so that's why I didn't make the list, but probably something you'd put into like Kavdane or Shiana, and you might even put it into some other decks for like Ultimate Pit Fighter or something like that, just to surprise people with. All right, and Foreboding Bolt right off the bat, so that's a hit. Pathing, Meet and Greet, that's another hit. Overblast, that's another hit. Should separate these piles a little bit more. We're starting to get to the point that we just have too many cards for them to stay in the right place. And our foil is Chokeslam. Okay, so not particularly interesting Guardian. I've played it. I don't hate it. It's just not really my kind of play style. But that is a really gorgeous foil. That's sweet. And then we have Tripwire Trap. Again, so if Lexi ends up being really good, or if she ends up being like a kind of a trap ranger instead, these could be really, really good. Who knows? And then another Ninja Action. So it's another combo finisher. So rare there for Ninja. We're getting a ton of Ninja cards. So I guess Legendary thinks I should be a Ninja player, which I do like aggro. So I recognize that Ninja actually would be a class I would probably enjoy. It's just, I don't know. It hasn't spoken to me recently. It hasn't really hit what I was looking for. Quite like a Mechanologist. Playing a more aggressive, like just boosting constantly, just feels so much better to me. All right. Ooh, Dash, nice. Would be sweet to get a foil of her as well. But yeah, awesome. Not a thing we were hitting for or looking for, but Emerging Dominance, Chokeslam, Flying Kick, Salt the Wound, and our foil is Sleep Dart. Neat foil. Definitely a neat foil. Ooh, Meganetics Shockwave. That's a Majestic, and it is a hit as well. We were looking for this. This is a really, really good Mechanologist attack, because essentially what it does is it forces them to block with X number of equipment, so you can kind of pull their equipment to this attack, and then follow up with another attack that you need to hit. So it kind of forces them to block this instead if they have equipment they can block with. So really, really sweet Majestic, and ooh, Kasai. That's another hit, because we were looking for any of the new heroes, and this is one of them, and one I'm actually kind of excited about, because she's actually done well in tournaments. She's popped up in a couple of top lists, so that's really, really sweet. And last pack of this half. So let's see if we can continue to get pretty lucky, because honestly, I don't know how much money value we're getting out of the box right now. I'll put that in afterwards, but we're hitting a lot of cards that we were interested in finding, so that is pretty sweet. And there we go. We got a common that's a hit. The Combustible Courier. Just have a couple of these. More ninja stuff. Oh, we have an Iris Specialization. That's kind of sweet. And then another Hit and Run, so that's a hit. And a Foil Consuming Volition. That's pretty sweet. And, oh, Mauvrion Skies, nice, and Barraging Bighorn. So, Mauvrion Skies, another hit there. It was one of the cheaper versions of Mauvrion Skies, but I did see a lot of Runeblade decks running all the colors, or they ran blue as one of them. So, really, really sweet. Another good hit with the rare there. And we're on to the second half of the box. You'd think I'd be getting better at opening these by this point. Alright, Brutal Assault, Assuming Volition, Workshop. I love the names of some of the brew cards. They are pretty funny. Ooh, that is a sweet foil, Rousing Aether. Not one of the wizard cards we were looking for, but that is a pretty nice foil. Rushing River, so another ninja rare, and another Barraging Bighorn. We have a lot of Barraging Bighorn and a lot of combo payoffs for ninja, so might be able to build a decent ninja deck after this. So that's kind of cool. I'll have to try that and see what I think of it. Especially with foil Ira to go with it as well. That's seems like a good fit. I don't know how good Rushing River is because I don't really know that much about ninja cards, but I know the Ira specialization card does get played with her. So Foreboding Bolt, there's a hit. Another Ira. They really do want me to play ninja. Oh, another hit and run. So that's another hit. Flying Kick. Ooh. Nice. So we were actually, I think, looking for this as well. I think I wanted a copy. Yep. So that's a hit, and it's a foil Aether Conduit. So foil rare, another foil rare weapon, and yeah, this is a cool one for Wizard. Most people are still using Crucible of the Aetherweave because being able to boost your damage is really, really good with things like Forked Lightning and other things that do multiple damage. Like, say, if you boost an Aether Flare, so it does more damage, and then it's also going to boost the next card more. So Crucible of the Aetherweave still does get played more, but Aether Conduit is a cool little weapon for Wizard because essentially it allows him to actually deal damage off of his weapon, which is pretty neat. It's not something that, or it's something he can struggle with towards the late. So that's really, really cool. Definitely a hit. And then we have Reinforce the Line, generic instance, and another Promise of Plenty. So that's another hit right there. Yellow one this time around. Sweet. That was a pretty good pack. Another foil rare. But yeah, so we're into the second half. Will we find a legendary, or dare I say a fabled? I have actually, so I've opened, let's see, at this time, I've opened 3 boxes and a handful of different packs before this box, and I still have yet to pull a legendary, but I know odds aren't particularly in favor of that. Nice Snapback and Meet and Greets, those are all hits. Ooh, another Copper token. Ooh, bravo, nice, nice. Merging Dominance. Ooh, another Iris Specialization card, sweet. Push it forward, and our foil is Blessing of Serenity. So not really a hit, but kind of a cool foil though. And then we have High Speed Impact, so that's a hit. And Redliner, nice. That's 2 hits. I was interested in building Ranger at one point because I heard that Ranger was one of the more aggressive decks you could build, and I really like the design they went with Ranger. Like, it plays so differently from other classes. I've had kind of ups and downs with the class myself, though. I played like one of the budget deck lists that they have, like I bought a $10 Ranger deck, played it, didn't really enjoy it. I did have an opportunity to play again and have a little more powerful cards like Red in the Ledger and Endless Arrow, and both of those do greatly increase the fun that you have with Ranger, and Redliner is one of her best weapons to go with, so really cool to get a copy of that. Definitely needed, and that is a hit if I remember correctly. Yes, perfect. All right, on to the next one. So that was really sweet. Double rare hit for the scoreboard. All right. Wow, there we go. A hit right off the bat with a common. Combustible Courier, nice. Sing Aether, Alpha Blood, Blessing of Serenity, Bittering, and then another foil Soul Bead Strike. They really want me to build a ninja deck, I guess. Absorption Dome, interesting. So that is a Majestic, so that's kind of nice, but not one we were particularly interested in. But it is a 0-cost one, and it's a pretty cool card. But another Majestic, so that's sweet. And then another copy of Dauntless, also not on our list of cards we were looking for, but I'm still not entirely sure about that. The big thing that kind of pushed it in my case is that it costs 1, and there's kind of similar things you can do to Dauntless for less resource costs. But yeah, another Majestic, not bad, not bad. All right, let's see what we can find. Overblast, there's a hit. Hit and Run, there's a hit. Crush the Weak, and our foil is... Ooh, foil Promise of Plenty, so that's a hit. And it's, yeah, that's a foil rare, not bad. Sweet. And then another Ninja Payoff, and another Ninja Payoff. Nice. Nice, that's funny. Wait, is Crane Dance a rare, right? Yeah. Perfect, perfect. Alright. Let's go on to the next pack here, then. We've gotten a number of Majestics for Mechanologists, so I guess Crucible knew what we were looking for. Although Absorption Dome wasn't on our list, but still cool. Dart, Meet and Greet, there's a hit. And Combustible Courier, also a hit. So that's sweet. Cliffs, Soul Bead, Predatory Strike, Chokeslam, and our foil is... Ooh, Iris Specialization foil. They really do want us to play Ninja, I guess, and that's pretty sweet because her specialization before Crucible only existed in the Welcome deck, so you couldn't get a foil copy of it. So that's one of the cool reasons for including it here. And if you want to build like Commoner Blitz, if you think Ira's not dominating enough as is, yeah, her specialization is a common, so it works in Commoner Blitz as well. So that's sweet. Towering Titan for a rare, and another Zephyr Needle. Facing the same direction as the last one, by the looks of it. So rares were a miss, but some neat cards in that pack, and that foil is actually one that's probably, you know, got some value to it because it is a very playable card, and one she definitely runs. Send State. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. It's like a token. Yeah, weird card. I saw it on the card list for the set, and I was like, whoa. I was very confused at first. And Flying Kick, and our foil is a foil Rune Chant. That's really sweet. So, a foil token, but, like, that's one of the reasons these tokens are in here, things like Rune Chant, so you can get foil ones, and a foil Rune Chant, that is a gorgeous foil. Not something I put on my list, but, yeah, definitely happy with that. And Cash In, that is one of the cards we were looking for, because it actually uses the copper tokens, and it's a generic, so it can go into any deck, so it can go into Cavdane, it can go into Kasai. I've seen Kasai decks actually, like, top 5 events in Blitz, and they are running Cash In as well, so that is definitely a hit. And then a Reinforced Line, so it's a neat little card there. And we are on to our last, let's see, 5 packs? Yeah, 5 packs left. Can we hit a Fabled or a Legendary? Only time will tell. A little bit low on the Majestics too right now, although we did get a foil one. So we've gotten a lot of foil rares, which is pretty sweet. But hopefully we can find a little more value in the box. Snapback, there's a hit. Hit and Run, that's a hit. Soul Bead Strike, Riled Up, and our foil is Rushing Rivers. Well, it's another foil rare, and it's a Ninja Payoff, so I guess we should be building Ninja, but Cindering Foresight and Towering Titan. So Cindering Foresight, again, really good card, but I do already have all the copies I needed for it, so that's why it's not on the list. But not a bad card for sure. And another foil rare, so we've gotten a ton of foil rares in our box so far. Last 4 packs. Overblast, there's a hit. Ooh, Reinhard, that's pretty sweet. Push it forward. Blessings of Serenity. And our foil is Sutcliffe's Research Notes. Actually looks a little bit better than I expected the foil to look. Promise of Plenty, there's a hit. That's one of the ones we're looking for, and it's a blue, so nice and good pitch value for it. Really cool, and a Pitfall Trap. Third to last. Man, these are like coming apart more as I get further into this box. Alright, what do we got here? Sleep Dart to start. Foreboding Bolt, there's a hit. Brutal Assault, Riled Up, Predatory Assault, Crush the Weak, Flying Kick, and our foil is High Speed Impact. Yeah, that's a foil rare and a hit. Nice. And that is a sweet foil too. Really cool. That's one of the cards we were definitely looking for there. Oh, another Coax of Commotion, so there's another Majestic. So now we're starting to get there on the Majestic count. That brings us to, what, 6? So I think that's about the average, if I remember correctly. So second Coax and Cream Dance. Second to last pack. Only 2 left for a chance at Shiana or Feindel's Spring Tunic. Either one would be great because Feindel's is good into basically every deck, and then Shiana, like I said, I wanted to build around. But there we go, starting off with a hit, Combustible Courier. Ooh, Foil Snapback, nice. That is a hit. It's a red snapback, so it deals a ton of damage, and yeah, just a sweet foil, so that's a hit. Mandible Claws and Rushing River, another ninja combo payoff, and now we are there. It's the last Crucible of War pack. Last chance for a legendary. Last chance for a fabled. Not likely to get either, but we could keep our fingers crossed. Either way, we've gotten a lot of cards I was looking for out of the box, so not bad. And starting off with a Cano. Nice. No complaint there. Like Cano. And there's a hit with Snapback. Hit with Overblast. Choke Slam. Crush the Weak. Out for Blood. And our foil is Blessings of Serenity. Guardian common, and then we have Centering Foresight, Towering Titans. So not bad. No legendaries, no fabled, but we got a lot of commons that we were looking for. Nice little hefty stack of those, and we did get our 6 Majestics, so not bad, including several we were looking for in the case of Megantic Shockwave and Visiertronic, and a decent pile of rares. And we got, let's see, a handful of foil rares, right? So we have 1 foil rare, 2 foil rares, 3 foil rares, 4. There's a couple more in here. 5. I think this might be the last one we're coming up on now. Is the Rock Slide Trap. So yeah, we got 6 Majestics, including a foil Majestic, and we got 6 foil rares and a ton of rares that we were looking for. So all in all, not a bad box for what I was hoping to get out of it. We didn't find our Chase Legendaries. We didn't find our foil Majestic wasn't the one we were looking for. But yeah, no Fabled, no Legendaries, but solid box all around. So I hope you enjoyed that little look at the box, and I guess let's just jump into the kind of wrap-up of the value then. So, how do we do with our box? Just kind of looking at it. First time doing this, so points doesn't mean a whole lot because we don't have much to compare it to, but by my point system, it scored 153 with a sweet little Majestic off the top there too. Actually, definitely the most exciting thing we pulled in the box, because I also really wanted Visiertronic, because I do want to build Mechanologist at some point. So the fact that that's a $20 card and we did get it out of the box means the box was still pretty sweet, even though we didn't find any legendaries or fabled or anything real crazy like that. But as for how about the cash value, so looking at the value of the card, so I kind of just looked at where things were at on TCG Player. Market price doesn't really work because the prices are like in such high fluctuation. Market price will usually say like $11, and then you actually look at it and everything's selling for like 2 to 3. So basically just looked at like the first page on there and kind of like got a feel for what the prices were, and picked kind of the average of those prices. And then just looking at any rares, Majestics, foils that are worth $2 or more, adding all of those together, gets up to a total of $89.50, not counting all the commons or the other stuff that was, just under $2, so it didn't count things that kind of fell in the $150 category. So probably when you factor that stuff in, I probably made the $100 or so that I spent on the box. You could definitely get them for a little less, the boxes, or at least I think you can. I haven't really looked into it, but I paid $100 for it, so it came with the $2 cards only. It comes about $10 under, so not a particularly thrilling box, and yet honestly it was just really fun to open. I'm actually at the point right now that I'm kind of considering getting a second box just to try a crazy sealed game with it, because it's not really made for sealed, but perhaps if you take the box and split it in half, you can actually get like 2 good workable decks out of that, because when I went through the cards, there was a lot more consistency than I was expecting, so it actually seems a little bit more doable to do sealed, but you kind of have to do a larger pack quantity and possibly just splitting the box in half. Might try it just to see if it's even doable. Would not be surprised if cracked baubles have to go into the deck in that case if that happens, but we'll see how I feel about that. Overall, Crucible Wars, pretty fun set, pretty exciting set, because it does have a lot of unique cards. There's a bunch of new heroes, and some of the ones are pretty interesting, stuff like Kavdane and Kasai and Shiana, of course, and then there's all of those copper tokens, and copper token synergy stuff is pretty sweet, and some of the generics are actually really, really cool for Ultimate Pit Fighter. It's one of the probably undersold aspects of this set, but there's so many cards I saw that just looked really fun to use in a multiplayer setting, so I'm pretty excited for that aspect of it. And just in general, I love what they did with Crucible of War, of just basically printing a bunch of good cards for all of the different classes. They're just kind of like gap fillers, that sort of thing. So really, really sweet set. Definitely glad I got a box. Quite enjoyable, and I hope everyone else liked the video as well. If you did, leave a like, comment below, and subscribe for more Flesh and Blood content.